Hello, Smite fans. Welcome to the start of the Split 2 Smite Oceania Pro League. I am Husey. Joining me today on the commentary desk is Link's Clone. We're going to be bringing you our first set, Deadweight versus Incite. Something to note super quick before we begin. The first game, unfortunately, we've had some technical errors. We won't be able to broadcast it, but in an upset, contrary to even my own predictions, Deadweight took the first game off of Incite. Link's Clone, some of your initial thoughts on that?
If that's the case, I'm very interested to see Game 2, especially with low morale, because as you said, like, Incite, they're the favorites. They're like they're easily going to go 2-0. There's no way they could lose. And now that they've lost, there's that creeping down in their minds, especially with like such a star-studded roster. This is really going to shake things up for Game 2.
All right, let's head into our picks and bans here, Links. Get ready for game number 2 between Deadweight and Incite. I'm really interested to see what they'll pick. I said in my pre-game predictions yesterday, I thought what Deadweight needs to do is they need to put Only Good at solo on something he can carry with out of the jungle. Incite, they need something vanilla, something easy that works together, because this roster's only been together for a short amount of time. They need something that they can make work. First ban here from Deadweight is going to be Khepri.
Yeah, there's no reason why not to ban the Khepri, especially with now Biggie on the roster of Incite. He can easily make him work just because of the fact that Scarus busting. It's still an extremely powerful ultimate. You got Abduct, everything is good about Khepri, like the ban. Guan Yu, the next ban, coming out from Incite.
So Khepri and Guan both had very high pick and ban percentage last split. Khepri over 90%, Guan Yu somewhere in the mid-80s range. Athena banned out as well by Deadweight. Again, another high pick and ban percentage god from last split. And if you look at this, they're banning out Biggie's god pool. They recognize that Biggie is the center of this team. He's the shot caller. He's the one that is just able to... He's the best support in OCE. Now that Richard Castle is not playing competitive this split, get banned away by Incite. So this shows a very a strategy here by Deadweight.
Yes, and now for the first pick from Deadweight, we see Raijin is going to be the first one. This is definitely going to be going to the mid lane and going to Agony.
Yeah, so Raijin, very powerful god. He was picked in game 1. We saw the picks and bans for those, but when I'm able to show the games, so Raijin was picked there as well. So super powerful, can put out a lot of damage very quickly, high burst, particularly with his 2 and his ultimate. We can see Thor and Bacchus now picked up there for Incite. So Thor going to max, and as I said, something very vanilla, something very easy for him to play, something for him to set up with Yada in the mid lane. Hopefully they get some chemistry going there. Bacchus for Biggie, something very aggressive, something he likes to play. Some secondary initiate for the side of Incite. Hou-Yi and Cabrakan picked up for Deadweight. Now, Cabrakan could be going the way of Only Good at solo in the jungle. We saw him have lots of success with it in the solo lane last split when he was on Direwolves.
Yeah, so the Hou-Yi is definitely going to be going to HS, who's now swapped from jungle to the ADC role. He's going to be bringing that, and that's actually quite a nice potent mid to late game hunter. Scylla, one of the strongest mid laners this split, simply because of the Soul Stone and purple power pod just allowing her to absolutely clear away, when originally she was like more of a mid game, late game sort of god.
Sobek banned out by Incite, looking to take away from Weave's god pool. And the Scylla and Thor combo, one of the oldest combos in Smite's history. That's something that Incite will need to look to execute off of if they want to take out Deadweight. Ubalanke now banned out by Deadweight. So something to note, Kikyo is playing for the side of Incite. He's actually technically a sub, just Laney is the main roster ADC, but Kikyo playing here in week 1. Naja banned out by Incite, so looking to take away from Only Good at solo. They think that Cabrakan's going to be going into the solo lane to be played by Shred.
Yeah, I kind of see the Cabrakan going more towards that solo lane. Like, as you said, Ogre, you want to put him on a gold that can carry. Cabrakan, I can see why you can get him to carry, but he's just not that, like, hyper carry. Like, in the late game, you're just going to be killing everybody, jumping all around the place. Cabrakan has more, like, utility sort of stuff, even though he can put out quite a lot of damage.
All right, Neath now banned out by Deadweight. Apollo here for Incite. So something Kikyo played a lot of when he was an ADC in the OPL, which is about a year ago now, was the last time he played ADC. But it's something very easy for him to do. If the rest of the team is rotating, he can just split push. It's very easy just to hold left click, especially with Golden Bow being as powerful as it is now. Bastet and Amaterasu picked up. So this is very interesting now. This creates a bit of an interesting situation for Incite to play off of. Who's going where? Bastet can jungle. Amaterasu can jungle. Which one's going solo lane? We've seen Bastet play the solo lane. Which one's going support?
Okay, the one that won't be good, there's only one thing we can say for certain. Bracken, definitely not going support. Like, Cabrakan you see as more of a damaging setup kind of character, like a solo lane or possible jungle. You can't put him in the support role. Amaterasu, I can actually see supporting. Her presence from her divine presence, funnily enough, just allows the entire team to either have that lovely increased movement speed, give them that extra bit of fight in the team fights, especially for Raijin, those taiko drums, giving him that extra bit of power will really make a difference if he can make that taunt even do more damage.
All right, we head into game here, and we can see it is, in fact, going to be Kabrakan solo for Shred, Bastet in the jungle for Only Got a Solo, and Amaterasu support for Weave. So the dazzling offensive as well, a really great setup tool with the stun that comes off the third tick and does a surprising amount of damage in the meantime as well. You can bait out some beads with that, and then go in with the Kabrakan Tremors, and then it's very hard to get yourself out of those, particularly if you build something like Gem of Isolation, which I can very much see him doing. But Links, this is the first game we are broadcasting of Split 2 of the SMITE Oceania Pro League. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams. On the left side of your spectator UI, fighting under the blue health bars, we have got Deadweight. Shred is in the solo lane as Kabrakan, only good at solo, not playing solo. He's playing jungle as Bastet. Agony in the mid lane as Raijin, and Weave and HS 24/7 going to make up your duo lane as Amaterasu and Hoyi.
And now on your right side of your spectator UI, playing under those red health bars, we have Incite. We have the Beast in the solo lane on Vamana, Maxon playing Thor in the jungle, Yada on the little monster Scylla, and for your duo lane we have Biggie and Kiki Omiro on Bacchus and Apollo.
So this is interesting. Maxon and the Beast are invading on the right-hand side. Maxon just popping his power pot, looking to take away the blue buff perhaps. Maxon spins to win there. A bit of damage from Shred here. Shred does have a purple pot, so Incite do need to be careful. Maxon actually burning his purification, so it looks like Incite's actually going to back away from this invade now. So very risky play. They take a lot of poke there, but Deadweight managed to successfully retain their buff.
I can see why Incite wanted to invade. They're like, okay, Thor, he has red pot as well as his passive giving more physical power the more gods with enemy gods within range. I want to go invade, but the thing is, as you saw that refraction shield, it actually stuns after a certain amount of damage has been taken. Like, it's a little, like, picture sort of passive meter that gets filled up, and once that's full and you use a refraction shield, you just get stunned. And if you lose purification this early, that's a huge advantage.
Looking towards the duo side of things, the Amaterasu, played by Weave, very much helping this Hoyi played by HS. Clear in the early game, Hoyi doesn't have the best clear early, not until he gets that ricochet to about level 3 with the Heavenly Reflection Amaterasu has. It's definitely going to help him clear the waves, but they're still getting pressured here by Kiki Omiro and Biggie. That's a very aggressive duo lane, just in terms of SMITE personalities to be going up against.
Oh, and not to mention Apollo and Bacchus, those are the kind of guys you can be like, I'm gonna leap on you, and especially now with Throwing Dagger and Golden Bow being so prevalent. Apollo doesn't have to use abilities, he just has Audacity and auto attacks to clear wave. So he can use his both I'm So Beautiful and Serenade, while Biggie can knock them up and save all that mana for that sense of attacking.
Weave as well has got a lot of sustain here with the heal coming off of the stance change of his Divine Presence, so he can afford to frontline a bit more for HS early compared to what Biggie maybe can do for Kiki Omiro. Weave can take that poke and then heal himself back up. Looking towards mid now, Maxon and Yada both with their power pots online. Once they hit level 5, I very much expect to see a combination of the Anvil of Dawn monster coming down onto Agony. Agony has hit level 5 himself, so he does have CC immunity, but if they can set it up quick enough, they can catch him before he can get into that, or before he can teleport away with the Thunder Crash.
Yeah, this is why I really like the Bacchus pick, because basically what you're going to do is you're going to get the knock up, which you cannot purify, you just have to wait the duration, or, so basically you can stun belly flop, or just belly flop and then land the armor monster, you can kind of preemptively strike that. And Agony can't really do much, he can't Thunder Crash away, he can't do anything at all.
So we can see Maxon not yet hitting level 5, a couple of minions off that, so that's preventing the aggression here from Incite. They were trying to grab something in the middle lane, but Maxon missed a wall. He's now hit level 5, only good at solo, only level 4 at this stage in the game. Maxon, though, going for back harpies, no, choosing to come back to the mid wave.
Over in the duel lane, we just missed it. Weave actually was forced to pop out that meditation, which will now be down for at least 2 minutes now. That's a massive advantage in the way of Incite, as they can now just dive heavily and not have to be worried about that surprise. Like, meditation is a surprise. Even if you know it's there, it's still going to catch you off guard.
Alrighty, let's take a look back towards that mid lane. Only good at solo. Agony going to start up this red buff here, taking it away. Yada and Maxon got to do the same on the top side of the map. I think sorry, no, the potions have only got about 1.5 minutes left on their timers, so Maxon needs to back here, which he's doing, grab himself some boots, and then come in, look for something onto Agony. Agony's got a purple pot of his own, As soon as Maxon's Purple Pot runs out, he's not going to be hitting as hard, obviously, but still, he needs to find something off the back of this. After the blue buff invade in the early game didn't work out, needs to make this red pot worth it.
And now since he does have his Purification backup line, he can go to, let's say, the Gold Fear or Fire Giant and just amp on. There's not a single ward I can see on the map. No, there's actually 2 on the side near the Fire Giant, but they're not in the actual pit. No one is ready for when a Thor comes crashing down.
Solo side, Maxon in the Fire Giant pit, looking to help out the Beast, who's being aggressed upon by Shred and Only Good at Solo. There comes the ultimate crashing down onto Only Good at Solo. Spin to win from Maxon. Can he find it? And Auto's going to pick it up, but the Beast is in some trouble here. Goes out of the big baby form. Shred, very low on health, very low on mana, but here is Agony. There he is with the Taiko drums, picks up the Beast. Great rotation out of the mid lane. Maxon now looking for Shred. Thunder Crash from Agony, enough to stall out Maxon, and Shred somehow lives there. 1-for-1 trade, first blood going the way of Incite.
Yeah, my guess is why he lived is the Mark of the Vanguard, because Berserker's Barrage is basically dot damage, so it does it all over time. If it's like a single burst, Mark of the Vanguard isn't as effective, then like basically every single time you're just reducing by 5 each time, combined with the protections, and just Bracken was able to just get out with that tiny slither. That was a beautiful setup by Agony though. Like without Agony, that would have been easily a dead Shred.
That was a very good rotation. He used not only the ultimate to deal damage, but also to fear away Maxon from his solo laner. So great understanding of the character that he is playing. A 1-for-1 trade that should have really been 2-0 for Incite.
Yeah, now that's going to put Max, because what we want to kind of see is Maxon needs to try and be able to compete with Ogre, because Ogre on Bastet means she's going to be trying to try and like get to that leg and carry the team, throw those cats around the razor whips, and really start causing chaos on the map. Like Bastet is one of the best split pushers in the game, and if Maxon can't bring his own sort of game, like basically the teamfight game, Bastet's just going to run wild.
Righty, duo side of things, pretty quiet so far. Golden Bow picked up by both of our hunters in this one. Standard start, both of them. Not as much rotations as we sometimes see from teams like Team Pandemonium and Tainted Minds. These two just looking to farm up here in this duo lane, get to a bit of a later stage of the game, get some more damage online before they look to do so. But honestly, Kikiomio can really afford to rotate more than HS, obviously since he's playing Apollo compared to a Hou-Yi. Much less mobility from the side of HS.
Yes, but HS has that Sunbreaker, and Sunbreaker, even though it takes a while to fall down, if you combine that, let's say, with the Dazzling Offense, combine that with either a Taunt or a Fear from Agony, and you can basically keep them in place, and they just won't be able to get away from the Sunbreaker.
Only Good at Solo there, aided double tap from Max and did a fairly hefty chunk of damage. Maxon's actually maxing that Mjolnir's attunement before the spin to win, so he's really confident in his ability to hit these more difficult shots. Mechanics have never really been in question with Max and just kind of his understanding of the game. There's another double tap onto Agony. Only Good at Solo jumps in, hit by the spin to win, but not going to be enough to kill him. Biggie jumps in. Agony preemptively purifications. The Burt might stun him here. He does. Biggie picks up the kill with the Intoxicate, but now he's caught between Weave and the Cats from Only Good at Solo. Maxi comes crashing down onto HS247. There is a great double tap in the Suns, enough to pick up the jungler. Weave uses that Dazzling Offensive, but a disengage is called from inside. No, Kikiomio going in, looking for HS247, misses the one. Weave, great silence there, and body blocking excellently for HS. HS manages to get out.
That would have been a great fight for Incite, but Incite kept going. Like they got greedy there basically in the team fight. Like the Barker's ultimate is one of the best things for securing kills, and once he dropped that Intoxicate, they had to get out. That's literally what they had to do.
The Beast as well used his ultimate very preemptively, wasn't able to use it to perhaps chase down a target, and was just forced to rotate out. He teleported in, but contributed nothing to that fight.
And what you want to see from the solo lane is usually they're like a little bit further ahead, but this time they've kind of been denied a bit of farm, and they're actually behind then compared to the mid lane just because of the jungle changes in the recent patches.
As well as that, Agony did manage to pick up a kill, so that's going to give him a little bit of extra gold. They're actually pretty even in terms of farm. The rotations that both have made, and as well as the majority of the pressure being over on that right-hand side of the map, has led to a decrease in farm, but make no mistake, those solo lanes will be getting up in gold very soon.
Oh yeah, especially now. Oh, the thing is, there is a little less farm on the map, but they're actually giving it a bit more peace and quiet, I feel like, recently in the patches from what I've seen. They're just allowed to get their blue, it's right next to them, they don't have to go all the way over to speed cam and back. However,
oh my goodness, the double tap from HS and then the finish off auto attack from Weave takes out the mid laner from Incite. The Cat's looking for Max in here, but he manages to just barely get out with his life. Deadweight leading this one 3-2. It seems like Deadweight definitely showing up here. We should mention that this squad basically formed as a bunch of castaways from other teams that didn't want them or disbanded, and they're really proving their worth here. Weave as well was a sub for Tainted Minds. Shred was dropped from that roster. Only Good at Solo was essentially dropped from Divals before they disbanded. Who else is on this team?
HS and Agony from
HS.
Sin.
They left Sin, yeah. So
HS, oh, I love it. HS was actually a really interesting jungle that went back in the day on Sin. Like, he pulled out the weirdest picks, and now to see him on jungle. ADC is kind of weird.
I mean, he's played pretty much every role in competitive. This is kind of the first time, this year is kind of the first time he's been able to stay on a stable roster in professional league. Last year he played on the Invitational ladder as a sub for the side of Exhilarated, but his god pool's always been much more suited towards ADC than jungle. In fact, that's why we saw him pull out the Freya in the jungle for Sin Gaming, and I'm really enjoying finally seeing him be able to play. He's a young kid, only 15, and a lot of school restrictions have prevented him from playing, but no doubt he's one of the more talented players in the scene.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye on him. Like, he didn't get to see his full potential on Sim, but now he's on Deadweight. Like, I expect to see a lot more from him this time.
You can see the Thor world there from Maxon. Didn't connect with the double tap. Biggie up onto Weave and only Good at Solo. No damage to follow up, though. Yada just farming away in the mid lane. Only Good at Solo, looking towards the left-hand side of the map. Now spotted out by an Incite ward. Kiki Omio boxing here with HS247, forces him to burn the Purification and the Sunbreaker. Kiki Omio just happy to take that fight. Honestly, he was in a bit of a worse position there, but managed to force a couple things from HS. Good play there. We can see now, though, Biggie in a very rough spot. Maxi comes crashing down onto Only Good at Solo, takes him out. Biggie somehow still lives, but the Tycho drums enough to pick him up. Yada, very low, forced out of the fight. Maxon falls down as well. Another 2-for-1 trade for Deadweight, and now they're looking straight at the Gold Fury. Beast is teleported in. Kiki Omio's in the area. Ward coverage, though, is going to give Deadweight an ample vision of what is to come. It's going to be very difficult for Incite to steal this one away, and honestly, they're just better off leaving, farming up, and not contesting. Weave dashes right into Beast here, into the big baby form he goes. Gold Fury is dropped. Kiki Omio in the walls, dashes away. HS247 jumps in, picks him up with the ricochet.
Yes, however, that has delayed Gold Fury, and now Yada is back online. He is back in the fight as Scylla. The last team fight, we actually did see, basically, Yada was constantly getting harassed by Ogre, because he is using that pounce, using those cats, and really using the, like, ample amount of positioning that Basta can give you to give a massive advantage to Deadweight.
Right-hand side mid-camps, looking to go the way of Deadweight. They do grab him here. Biggie just going to go reset the timers on this one. Let's take a look at our graphs here. We can see it as a 1700 experience, 800 gold difference for the side of Deadweight. Nothing too special, but still, no one expected this squad really to do too much against Incite, seeing as Incite is being labeled by myself and others as the team to watch this split as the new potential top team. But we said the same thing about Direwolves last split. They had a lot of talent on their roster, but it just never came together for them. And honestly, that's what Incite's looking a little bit like at this point. Hopefully, though, they've got 10 weeks rather than the 4 weeks of last split to get it together. So, you know, not going to be being too fatalistic at this point. Only Good at Solo, taken out there by some good combinations out of Incite. Biggie finishing him off with the Intoxicate and a Kiki Omio in hand to get the score more towards even, but still in favor of Deadweight.
Yeah, Barkis is... I just love Barkis as a support. You can basically just jump in and just throw the alcohol, and before they can even think about anything, they can't do anything about it, they're just dead. It's just instant. It's just a kaboom, you're dead.
Mid lane, Maxon does have his ultimate available as well as Yada. Should look to set up here, but Yada gonna back. He's got enough for the Chronos Pendant. I suspect that's what he's looking for here. And that is indeed what he picks up. He's got Soulstone and as well as Shoes of the Magi online. He can afford to go some cooldown here. It's going to allow him to use his Sentinel to get away a little bit more often, allow him to crush a little bit more often. He brings his ultimate back up, a good utility item. If he goes to the Book of Thoth as well, that'll give him a lot of power. Not from the Cronus Pendant, but...
Have a look at Gold Fury, Husey.
Deadweight. That was pretty quick. Like, I saw them start it up and kept talking. I'm like, I'll have some time to, you know,
talk
about Cronus Pendant. Nope.
Yep, that was the Sunbreaker coming into full attack. Not to mention the Amaterasu got into a Void Shield, allowing her to have a little bit more physical power, even though she's only gone into the Reinforced Shoes for more the protection and the CC reduction.
Righty, we can see now HS looking to take Kiki on here. Actually waits him to back, so he's going to farm up this way, push one into the tower. Kiki Mio probably won't make it back in time to avoid his tower takers shots unless he uses his ultimate. He's actually waiting in the fountain for a little bit. He's got 600 gold in hand, just going to wait for the light blade to get himself some more attack speed. Biggie spots out HS here, just letting his team know where the rotation is, but nothing too dramatic going on at the moment, Lynx.
No, this is going to be very passive from the looks of things. Like, from what we've seen in this early mid-game, it's all just waiting for those Fire Giant fights, and then we'll start to see the action really heat up. From what I heard, even though I couldn't watch game one, supposedly it was quite a long game, so this may be similar.
Maxon's up in the air, looking for something, crashes down to the HS247, but Agony's already picked up Yada. Weave an excellent silence there to stop Maxon, but he still manages to land the double tap. But now, honestly, it's looking like Deadweight will be going and continuing on this one. And no, they're gonna back only good at solo. Come on, man, what are you doing?
Hoka's being patient. He's being careful because he knows if he gets caught out, he's just gonna be bursted down. You got Barkas, Thor, as well as an Apollo. Like, that's not something you just eagerly stay around for. Like, if you just make one slight mistake, you saw that double tap. It just does so much damage that
their
CC
was on cooldown though. He could have jumped in, got a whip, and gone back. He ended up doing that anyway. I thought he was just gonna do it a bit sooner.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I think it's more maybe possibly due to positioning purposes. However, in this mid lane though, Weave getting almost caught out by Maxon as he's trying to get away after destroying that tier 1.
Righty. Take a look at our graphs here. We can see 2,000 experience, 1,800 the gold. It's now after that Gold Fury going the way of Deadweight. 7-5 leads the scoreline in favor of Deadweight. So 15 minutes into the game, the underdogs, the technically lowest seeded team in the OPL, is really taking it to the team everyone thinks is going to take it all.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm surprised they're actually, like, they've been, like, their positioning there, from looks like they're just positioning as well as, like, how they've been coordinating together has just been much better than Incite. Incite kind of look all over the place. They've, like, especially just due to the fact that you can use Shred, Weave, as well as HS, like, a lot of their abilities, like, force people to move in a specific way, and they know it. They're, like, completely taking advantage of that fact.
Take a look at Weave's build here. He's going into the Reinforced Greaves to lessen the crowd control he's going to get from the very crowd control heavy team of Incite. If you think about it, Kikyo Mio's got a Mez, Biggie's got a knock-up and a stun, and technically his ultimate as well. Yada's got a root and a slow. Maxon's got a stun. Beast has got a slow. So a very good pickup here, but he's then gone into the Void Shield. So 50 physical protection, that's a decently hefty amount. No health. He's got some increased physical power, so he's going to be doing some damage. Plus the aura that reduces physical protections. Now, there's not going to be too many physical protections online, so early game, this is actually a pretty decent item. It's going to enable only good at solo, HS, and himself to be doing a lot more damage than they normally would be.
Not to mention, Mark of the Golden Crow, it does more pen the less health you have, so combine that with Void Shield, and you're penning like a Kali, basically, even though you don't have near that level of pen that you normally would in that early game.
Take a look at some of our itemization here. HS247 going to the Ikavol and RC. Not too much physical power online at this point. I mean, I guess he can afford to do that, really, since Golden Bow gives you such a massive amount. And combined with Warrior Taba, it's 95 power. You get some good penetration online from those two items and some attack speed. So, actually, he's going to be hitting pretty decently hard. Kikyo Mio goes for the Ninja Taba instead, the RC, and now looking for probably a chin size.
Yeah, you very much do need an Ichabod if you're going up against an Apollo, just simply because the Audacity is going to allow him to try and box better than you. So since he's picked up the Ichabod, he's going to be reducing that physical power of Kiki, and will allow him to actually try and burst him in the lane, even though Kiki on paper should actually be better at boxing.
Maxon's gone into the Void Shield as well before he went into Jotun's Wrath, so he recognizes that there's a lot of physical damage coming out from only good at solo Weave and HS247. The Beast split pushing on the right-hand side will take this tower, second tower of the game, first one for Incite to take. Three-man grouping, though, from Deadweight in the mid lane. Nothing really for them to look for here. Maybe contest the right-hand side camps.
Yeah, there's not much happening. Like, we're just waiting for them to get to that late game portion. Like, they're just idling around, farming, trying to build up that item, taking advantages where they can. As you saw there, the Beast was like, oh, like the 1 second Shred is not online. I'm just going to take the tower. I just can. And then that gives them a little bit of extra gold, a little bit of extra experience, and now they can just get closer to that 6 slot period.
Gold Fury has respawned, so both teams will know that that one is back up. The Yada rotating to his red buff here. He, Biggie, and Maxon should honestly just group up here, ward that up. You can see Deadweight going straight for that. Same with Incite. It's going to be a battle here for the wards. Good wall by Maxon there. They managed to grab the ward. Weave, though, firing off some damage. Not going to be able to land it. Four-man grouping from Deadweight. HS hanging around the backside of the wall. Could be an opportunity for a pick here. Biggie, a little bit overextended, but not too much. Beast is teleported in. Looks like Incite will be the ones to initiate this fight.
Yes, they just need Maxon to get a really nice Anvil Dawn. Combine that with the knockoff from Barkus and then the Intoxicate. That, like, basically Barkus can shut down that anti-healing, that healing. Anyway.
Weave takes a lot of damage. Shell is popped though, so he's going to be fine for now. There's the dazzling offensive. Beast is up. Maxon comes down and misses absolutely everyone. Agony uses the Sanctuary very well. Manages to actually get out of Kikyomiya's ultimate there. Shred looks for the stun, doesn't grab it. Kiki firing off autos. He's trapped in the wall. He doesn't have a dash. There's the Purification and the Sanctuary. Yada, I'm a monster, comes crashing down, but Incite's losing this fight. HS picks up the kill there onto Yada, and now Deadweight going to back off here as well as Incite. Beast, Kikyomiya is still hanging around along with Weave and HS. Shred hanging around the backside of the Gold Fury, but a fight going again in the favor of Deadweight.
Yeah, that was a shame the Armor Monster missed. If that Armor Monster that could have really changed the tide of the fight. Shred trying to catch Kikyomiya off guard.
Not going to happen here. The Beast is in the area. Going to be able to deal some damage back to him. Stunned out is the Beast. Shred just using his auto attacks and his ability combinations very well here onto the Beast. But Beast is just baiting for his team, but he's too much damage. Maxim with a good wall, but he's run into the rest of Deadweight. Agony picks him up with a Thunder Crash, and now they're looking at the Gold Fury. Biggie is here. Doesn't have the Intoxicate online in order to steal this one away, potentially. Good zoning here from Shred, and only good at solo. Agony, HS, Weave, all focusing on the Gold Fury. Biggie looking to jump in, I think, and possibly steal this one away, but Deadweight picks it up and pick up the kill onto Biggie. Shred. Great zoning here of Kiki diving him under the tower. There is the Tremors, and down falls the ADC of Incite. 11-5. Reads the scoreline as we pass the 20-minute mark. Deadweight taking it to Incite.
And now Yada not exactly pleased with that happening, but is able to give him a nice crush, second combination onto Shred, and that will be that. However, having a look at our graphs, after that massive team fight in Gold Fury, 2,800 experience, 3,200 gold. This is still very much Deadweight. They've had control the entire game, and they still hold it. Every single team fight they've engaged in is just being Deadweight winning every single time.
I haven't seen any Thor ults into a Scylla ult, and that's the combination that essentially this whole team is based around, other than maybe a Barker's belly flop into a I'm a monster. The thing with Incite is at the moment they're reacting to what Deadweight is doing, not being proactive and looking to set up opportunities for themselves, and they need to change that.
Yeah, the problem is when you have Bastet, you kind of have to be on the defensive. She's going to be like, I'm going to pounce in, I'm going to do all this stuff, and then I'm going to leap away. What are you going to do? You're going to have to try and either run away, or you're going to try and kill me. But by the time that happens, I've got the rest of my team by my side, and then as you saw there with Agony, he basically thundercracked Raiju, and that was it. There was no people left around to see that.
Alrighty, as we get to, I should say, 21.5 minutes in the game. 11-6 is the scoreline in favor of Deadweight. The majority of the kills going the way of Agony and HS247, 414 and 413 respectively, for those two carries of this Deadweight squad. If we take a look at player damage now, we can see Shred and then HS are on top of the board, followed by Maxon and only good at solo. Very much reflective of how it's gone down in this game. We can see Beast dived under tower into the big baby form. 2 ultimates used, 3 ultimates used by Deadweight, but Beast able to get out of here. Here comes Biggie looking to counter here, but the tier 1 tower, they should probably just give this one up. Not enough damage in the air to contest this one, and in fact they do. Biggie breaks the walls of Shred. Maxon up in the air though, looking to initiate. Who's he going to go on? No one. He's going to go back to a back camp.
Yeah, there was no reason for him to engage there. If he tried to engage, he would have just simply got blown up like last time. Currently, even though he has that Void Shield, he doesn't have that many protections and is pretty far behind compared to Deadweight.
Maxon silenced there. Hey, Weave and HS did a lot of damage to him along with Agony. There is the Taiko drums, but Maxon teleports away. Good damage there coming out from Agony, but probably not what he wanted there. Left-hand side, only good at solo. Shred looking for this tier 1 tower on the left. A very good split push combo coming out here from Deadweight. And honestly, like, people might say it's cheese, but that's what this team comp is designed to do. And if Incite can't respond, I mean, you don't win games of not playing a cheesy comp. You play these games to win.
I wouldn't say it's a cheesy combo at all. Simply, as I mentioned earlier, Bastet, like, this entire team is all about forcing people into uncomfortable positions and forcing them, as you said, to react. It's been happening the entire time. And you get that sort of added advantage being that the cats of Bastet also are extremely good split pushing tool. But I don't think that's the main focus. That's just more the secondary cool bonus effect that comes from the squad.
So look at Shred and Weave. I'm going to call this combination the Void frontline because they've got Void Shield and Void Stone respectively. So when those two get up in your face, you're going to be losing both sets of protections, magical and physical. So everyone else on their team is going to be hitting harder, and they'll be hitting harder themselves. Shred, is he still at the top of the damage charts? Yeah, he is, barely in front of HS, but honestly, a lot of protections being taken away by him when he's in the area, and that's what Cabrakan wants to do, is get up in your face, be dealing damage to you up close. Combining that with his tremors is honestly really scary, and it enables Agony to do much more damage as well.
Yeah, Cabrakan has been dubbed the fat Loki of Smite, and that is no exception. Seismic Crush does a surprising amount of damage, and if you can land a wall onto about 3 people, cage them in, get the divine, just everything about this team just works so well together. Like, the synergy is just off the charts.
Oh, HS there, a little bit of BM as he fireworks in front of Incite's tier 2 tower. Biggie looking for something here, flipping onto Shred. Shred gonna take the stun, not terribly worried about this stage. Stuns Biggie back, Weave silences him, and Biggie takes a lot of damage there from Agony. The Raiju combined with the drums gonna do a lot of damage. Maxon up in the air, looking for a target here, goes down onto the middle lane, but only catches only good at solo, and only good at solo, able to jump away as Bastet. It's really difficult for Incite to secure that damage. Looks like Weave initiated here. There's a dazzling offensive. Maxon already taunted in and bursted here by the side of Deadweight. Shred picks up the kill. Yada used the armor monster, but not enough damage. Biggie picks up the kill onto Weave. Biggie stunning out Shred. At this point, Yada looking for a kill here. Beast picks up Agony. Shred just zoning, just trying to stay alive, but Yada picks up the kill. Kiki picks up another kill. Fire Giant started for Incite, and this could be the turnaround they need to take this game.
That team fight, as you said, that actually might be the game possibly. If they're able to get Fire Giant, this is like a complete 180 of what just happened. And that was because Yada landed that I'm a Monster, Iggy landed the Intoxicate. Those two ultimates alone just will simply burst you down. No matter how many protections you have, no one is prepared for those kind of ultimates.
Only got a solo, use the cats there onto the beast. Look at that damage it puts out onto Yada, but that med bait from Biggie was real. Managed to pick up Kiki and Mio, but Yada stays alive. Yada knocked up here by the Fire Giant. Come on, Yada, you can't be doing that when you guys aren't even doing it terribly fast. Weave is back alive, but he's not going to be able to get this one in time. But Incite taking so much damage here from the Fire Giant. They managed to grab it, but it doesn't go onto Kikyo Mio, which is honestly probably the most important person to get the Fire Giant onto. Incite, though, do take it as we're about to hit 26 minutes in. Take a look at the graphs. The experience difference is neutralized here, only 91 in favor of Deadweight. Gold difference, 2,300.
Something funny people might not have realized about what happened to that Fire Giant. So basically the Fire Giant will spawn a pool of magma for each god in the area. However, if there are cats, they each count as a god. So since they were all chasing Kikyo and Mio, a massive lava pool that would do a lot more damage than usual actually appeared for Kiki, and that's how he was able to get burst by that Fire Giant.
Oh, Incite here double warding the Gold Fury. Not a great look there. Surprised they're not starting up that objective, however. Kikimir is on his way back. Looking for something in the mid lane. It's maxed walls of Agony and Weave, but they again return to this Gold Fury. They don't have too much vision below it, though, where Deadweight's going to be coming through, so they need to be very careful and zone this one properly. Kikyo Mio just doing his pigs now. Once it gets into the area, that's when they should start this one up. Only got it solo. It takes a double tap there. Gold Fury started up by Incite.
And with that Ogre trying to sneak his way behind the ward, literally just disappeared, but I think Biggie just got kind of a whiff there, and they're actually pulling off from the Gold Fury.
Agony's got his Raiju on it. He was trying to look for the skill there, not going to find it. Maxon up in the air, comes crashing down, but finds no one. Shred takes some damage here, but a shell is popped on the side of Deadweight. Beast in the back line doing some damage. Kikyo Mio and Yada now focusing on the Gold Fury. Just Kikyo Mio now. Beast takes so much damage as Shred uses his ultimate. There's the Taiko drums from Agony, but not going to find anything. The suns come down from HS. Gold Fury, though, goes the way of Incite.
Yeah, this was the one team fight Shred got. Basically, Tectonic Shift is a double-edged sword. If you accidentally put that wall down in a very unfortunate spot like they did in that point, they basically blocked off the entire corridor for Deadweight to try and get through. And the only one who has a lead is both HS or Ogre, and they just didn't have it at the time.
Look at this now, Deadweight fighting here, takes out Kikyo Mio, just only got it solo, and he takes a double tap. Yada picks up HS247, and it looks like Incite want to force a fight here. Maxon doesn't have his ultimate available. Biggie doesn't have his Intoxicate. Maxon teleports in here, finds a wall that hits no one.
And as we see that, the Divine Presence for Amaterasu just giving that massive speed boost that Incite just can't compete with. It's simply not possible, even with the sprint on the Bacchus.
They should take the tier 1 tower on the left here. Smart move by Deadweight to just give this one up. Really, you're happy to lose a tier 1 tower if you've a Fire Giant on the enemy team. Might defend this tier 2 tower at the moment, but given the low health of everyone on their team and HS247 not being here, I'd say just give it up, and that is in fact what they're doing. Tier 2 tower as well, not that big of a loss if the enemy's got Fire Giant.
What I want to see from Incite is to take that mid tier 1, like that is such a crucial tier 1 tower in the game. It just opens up the entire map, because now, if they want to try and engage a team fight in the mid lane, they have to work around it. They have to, even though it's mid to late game, tower damage can still make a massive difference when it comes to killing someone or not.
Let's take a look now at our player damage. We can see Fred still on top, 15,000 damage, followed by HS and Only Good at Solo, both on 14,000 each. Same with the Beast and Maxon. Kiki Amir, though, down the bottom of the charts, 8,300. Really, up to this point, he's just been PvE, just taking on the minions, farming up, waiting to get to that late game stage. Doesn't have any structure damage, though, which is probably the most important stat you need, especially as an Apollo.
Yes, but the thing is, since he's going to have that Wind Demon coming soon online, he's going to be hitting super quickly. He has that Ninja Tarbate to ensure that the Audacity passive gets stacked a lot quicker, so he doesn't really have to worry too much about building something like a Crusher, because he'll just be doing it naturally anyway, just being Apollo.
Incite now, forcing a fight under the tier 2 tower. The Beast up into the big baby form, but Only Good at Solo just leaps into the backline and does so much damage to Yada, who's forcing Sentinel away. And now, wait, they can look to re-engage on this as the Beast's ultimate is down as well. Good wall there from Shred. Beast, though, running away. Raiju is on him, though. Look for him to be bursted down in just a second. There's the Taiko jump, taunts him in, and gets the damage. Double tap from HS, and an in-hand is enough to pick him up. Maxon in a risky situation here, same with Biggie. Agony looking for Maxon, gets a great 4-man wall, but it's not going to be enough to save him. Agony picks up another kill for himself. Kikiomio under his tower, a 2-for-0 trade going the way of Deadweight and Shred. He wants more, he wants Yada. There's the Iron Monster just defensively. Can he get some damage off? No, doesn't manage to find it. HS picks off the mid laner. Only 2 members of Incite left alive. Deadweight pushing in on the middle Phoenix.
Yeah, as we saw last split, Sin Gaming didn't have a good start, but what I saw was Agony, HS, they were one of the 2 best players on that team. And in week 1, we saw Agony absolutely carry on Soba, wasn't able to appear in Super Week. Oga picking up Kiki Omiro there, and that will be a Phoenix in the mid lane.
Deadweight hanging around here rather than going for the Fire Giant. Beast doesn't respawn for another 10 seconds. They can look for this as it's only Biggie alive. He gets a good bounce onto Only Good at Solo, but a great Sanctuary saves his life. Titan out, 50% HP. Shred taken very low and falls to the Titan. Biggie falls back into the base. The Beast is here, but the Titan falls down. Deadweight take this series 2-0 in a huge upset. First set of the OPL going to the underdogs.